Right, I've opened up Orange, and I've also got the files we created earlier on, such as test data CSV, which we'll click on to remind ourselves what was in it. So this is just a text format version of the information we want to have a look at. Well, notice Excel's complaining because it's not an Excel format. As I mentioned before, don't save it into Excel format. I've also created in here a document which we'll come back to in a little while using the just a plain text editor, Notepad, with words like people and to and the and of, and I'll explain what use this is in a short while. Right, so go to Orange, and the first thing we're going to do is take the Corpus widget and drag it onto the canvas. Now Corpus is basically the body of text we're going to add, so I'm going to double click on that, and I've already used text data CSV in this, so we can just reload that. Nothing seems to have happened because we need to have a way of looking at this data. There's a couple of ways we can do this. I'm going to drag a line out here, and then I'm going to add Corpus Viewer. Okay, that appears now, and if we double click on this, it's just a very plain text view of what we're looking at. Not particularly useful. Perhaps more useful is to use a word cloud. Now, you're familiar with word clouds, but Orange will allow us to use them in more sophisticated ways. So again, I drag down there, I click on word cloud, and the little widget appears. I'll double click on that, and it shows us the word cloud. And right at the center we can see elderly is a big deal and people, but also words like and to. There's a weighting of the words over here which is quite useful and will give us a more sophisticated way of looking at the data. But at the moment the biggest problem we've got is we've got words and commas and things which aren't relevant. We like to get rid of and for a start. Now we do this by something called pre-processing text. So again, I drag a line down here and I go to pre-process text. Right, so we'll have a look at this in a little bit more detail in a second. Look at things like stop words. At the moment it's doing this slightly obscure command, regexp, and with a pattern this. What that's doing is basically getting rid of many of the common words. Okay, so I drag a line from pre-processed text to word cloud. And notice it's rearranged the lines a little bit. And double click on word cloud. And we notice straight away that and has disappeared and elderly is now our top one. We've still got people, which is perhaps not the most useful word ever. We've got vulnerable, homeless, income families, which are much more useful. So we're getting to have a little bit more sophisticated view of these data. Okay, I'll close that. And now we go back to pre-processed text. I'm going to bring in the file we saw a little bit earlier on, the stop words file. So I'm going to search for it, so I'll just pause for a second because it'll take me a little moment to find. Okay, so I found the text file words text. And now when we close this up and look at word cloud again, we should see a lot of the words which were causing a bit of a problem have now disappeared. And it's very obvious straight away from this in terms of quantitative measures that elderly and vulnerable and homelessness and incomes and families and schools are the big issues, and especially elderly. Okay, so as I said, this list of stop words, words text, which we'll open up again just to have a look at, is something you probably want to expand as you develop your understanding of this. Now we can also drag this out and make it look. We don't want another one in that. Get rid of that. Make it look a little bit more elegant. And there we are. That was a basic introduction to text mining using Orange. More later.